Okay, guys, for this week, we're gonna go over how to do the shop drawings. So, to start, right? New part on SolidWorks, and then from part assembly, this time we're doing drawings. So you hit drawing, hit OK. Let that load. So, like I said in class, when you first make a drawing, you're gonna ask about your sheet format size. For us, for the time being, we're gonna just use a size D. So to do that, you can go to Browse, scroll down to find D Landscape, and then hit Open. So we're gonna be using with this format because most commonly, this is the format sheet size you're gonna use. Um, so once you make a drawing, right, you're gonna have in the left hand side again, where you can input your parts. And again, if you have your part open on SolidWorks already, it's just gonna pop up in there. But if not, you can always go browse for it. So that's what we're gonna go do. We're gonna go browse. I'm gonna do number two today for this example. I think that's better things to show you guys. So again, so for the three things I need the standard view, right? So standard view, it's going to be your front, top, and right faces. So right here, this is where the faces you see, right? So AAA typically is going to be your top, front, and right. So anyways, it starts with your top, then right. I mean front, right, left, back, top, bottom, right? And like I said in class, your top view can only come out of your front. So automatically, since these are three in a row, we know this is top, front, and bottom, right? So anyways, we're gonna hit front, place that in, then we can drag it up to put our top view, and go to the right to put a right view. And then to put an ISO view, we can drag it in the top right corner. And remember, wherever you drag it actually does matter on the view you get. So keep that in mind. So we won't go top right. And let's say one of you guys messed up your orientation when you were drawing your part initially, and then this ended up being your front view. That's fine, right? Like we should practice doing it in the correct orientation, but if you do that accidentally, that's fine. To fix that, you can go to project view. Once you place it, click on the view you want, and same thing, move it in the direction you want it in. And then that gives you the orientation of like, this is essentially your front face now, right? And you can make it go top, right, left, bottom, and put it in the ISO view you need. So in that case, you can do that. But since it's already correct, you don't need to change that. And alternatively, when you guys first make your drawing, you can just go three standard view instead, right? It's three standard view instead, and then it'll automatically put the three standard views in your drawing for you already. You don't have to put it one by one. So anyways, so right now our part looks pretty small on our sheet, so we can rescale that. If we click on any of these faces, and then in the new pop-up, scroll down to the left, go to scale and use the custom scale, and then we can make this 1:1. And I think that's a better size. Nice. So after you scale it, you can hit check mark, and then if you want to move your drawings, just pull them to reorientate them. And as you guys can see that some of these drawings are linked together when you move it, right? It's because you place them from the same point of view in the same instance that they're all aligned together. So like, let's say you want to move this one up a little higher for some reason. What you can do, you can right click that face and then go to alignment and break alignment. And now your alignment is broken and you can move it around freely. I think to re-put it back on, you can just hit both and then right click and then alignment. Okay, where did it go? Alignment, default alignment. And you go default alignment and then it'll line up with that piece again, right? So continually, the next view we want a view to look at this face perfectly, right? Because for the assignment, what you guys need to do, oops, if I can grab the document, right? So what you guys need to do, all the dimensions you guys see on your assignment, you need to put this on your solid drawing, right? So if we look at our drawing right now, currently, this face, we could dimension this perfectly, right? But the one behind it, it might be hard to dimension, and we can't really dimension it, right? And from our three standard faces, we can't do that besides ISO view, but we never want to dimension in ISO view, right? This is strictly off hands, off limits. This is only to show the engineer what the part should look like if they can't really imagine it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a section view. So we can go to section view, and then essentially where you want to cut it is where you want to put it, right? So remember, wherever I cut it, that's where my view starts from, right? So I want to put this right in the middle here. Hit check mark. And you guys see the arrows, how they're going to point into the left. So we're seeing it from that direction. So essentially, we're looking at this from a right view, right? So if we look at it from a right view, this is our right face from this part, starting from this middle section, right? Our view doesn't start from out here anymore. It starts from in there, right? But I want it to look this way. So I'm gonna hit flip direction. And now my arrows are pointing this way. So our view starts from here, right? And you can see the difference. This face, our view would start from this line, right? We're looking at here. But this view starts from where we put our section. So it starts here and we don't see behind here. So now we can clearly see this face, this feature, and we can dimension it properly without this getting in the way, right? So you guys will have to make a section view to give the dimensions for this face. And of course, remember your part is supposed to be offset like this by 1 millimeter. That's the correct direction, so don't worry about those holes being concentric. And if you guys have any circles, right, that didn't have this dotted line cross section, that's called your center mark. So any circular hole or feature, make sure you put a center mark. It'll help you dimension as well. So to add that, you're gonna go to annotation, center mark up here, and you're gonna click the arc of the whatever you want to dimension, right? Don't click the inside because that's not gonna do anything. You have to hit the actual radius diameter of the circle you want to put, right? You put a center mark, check mark. Cool. So next thing you want to do, you just want to start smart dimensioning, and that's pretty easy, right? You're just gonna click whatever feature you want. So like for example, like the complete height. I'm gonna put height to height, right? And then your number's already gonna be there because you defined your part when you're making it, right? So currently our number is pretty small, right? So this is pretty unlegible and we can't read that at all. So what we can do is click on that dimension, go to other, uncheck use document font and change the font ourselves. And let's go to point and change it to 36. And I believe that should be fine, right? So now this is a lot more legible, right? We can actually see this number, 9.76, right? And also number 2 is supposed to be in millimeters. So let's change my numbers, right? Very important to change your numbers. SolidWorks will always use the same number format that you used in your previous drawing. So just make sure to change that back because that's really important, right? It helps with conversions a lot. And the part we're making, it's like a more clean number. So going back to changing the number size, that's pretty tedious if we have to do it for every single one, right? Like if we want to go like here to here now, like this is super tedious, right? Where we don't really want to look at all these numbers or change them manually one by one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the document properties and actually change it ourselves. So we're going to go to this gear, go to document properties, and then go to dimensions, and then go to font here. And this is the same thing like we did earlier with changing the individual font, but now this will change the font for everything, right? And also our arrows. So if we look right here right now, the arrows at the end of our lines are pretty small, right? So we want to make sure that's a lot bigger. So we can probably see it. So I think like 0.250 inches by 0.250 inches should be plenty, right? And hit OK. Right, so now the arrows are bigger, and the arrows are important because it tells us where the dimension goes, right? For example, you see how this line, or in this case, it goes to the full diameter, but let's say I change this where I want it to only go to the radius like this, right? Or I change it, so now this points directly at the radius. Actually, right? So actually, let's change to the one where it goes to the center mark. I think this one's center mark. No, this one's center mark. Okay, this one, right? So if we go to this one, we see that our dimension line, it goes straight to the center mark of our circle, right? And we know that this radius and this circle are concentric. So let's say our arrow was completely small and it was just one straight line to the middle. More often than not, you're going to assume that goes to maybe this one. Some people might assume this goes to this one, right? And it's really unclear to which radius it actually goes to. So these arrows are important because they actually tell us the specific feature that dimension goes to, right? So let's say this arrow went to this radius, then that means this radius is R 10 millimeters, right? Versus this circle is a radius of 10 millimeters. So that's really important why we want our arrows to be big so we can actually fully identify where it goes, right? So this is pretty much what you're going to be doing for your drawings, just making simple dimensions, just calling them out forward like that. So the only thing is to go over again. So let's say right here, right? 16 typical, right? So let's say you want to write that word because let's say we dimension it right here. right? And this is 16. But we don't want to mention every single feature to be 16. And we can just, again, I just want you guys to put exactly what it says on your assignment, on your actual drawing. So in this case, it's 16 TYP, right? Typical. So what we can do is add more words. So on the left bar, right, when you're entering the dimensions, where it has tolerance dimensions, you're gonna go to dimension text. And in this box is where you can write anything. Like if I want to write cats and dogs, are cool, right? I can literally type cats and dogs are cool. I can type anything, right? I can type my name, right? Right? I could type anything. So this is where you're gonna type like TYP, right? Similarly, down here, this is where you have icons, where these are all the was it symbols that you guys have seen in your drawings. So again, they have diameter, degree, plus minus, a center line. They have square, countersink, counterbore, a depth, right? So they have all this to use. And if you guys want to use it, just click on it and it puts that image right there in the spot for you, right? So, oh, did I put tolerance on? Okay, no tolerance, right? So let's say for example, number one, right? There's this call out right here where it's two holes of half-inch through with a counterbore of 88.88 inches diameter with a depth of 0.25, right? So I'm just gonna show you guys how to type it on the number two still, right? So how to do that, right? Let's say we wanna, let's say, what was it? I'm just gonna delete this for now. It was 0.500. Whoops. So okay, slide. Okay. So it was a diameter 0.500, right? So let's say it started there, right? With our number. So what I want to write, I want to write through with a counterbore and then depth, right? So go back here. I can edit this. I'm gonna type through, make a new line, and say that it's a counterbore of diameter 0.88 with a depth of 0.250, right? So that's how you write this dimension, this one, the whatever, blah, 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 right? So that you write blah, 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 right there, right? So that's how you do that. I'll delete that for now so you guys don't get confused on what's supposed to be on number two. And the last thing you have to do is your title block, right? I want you guys to learn how to start editing your title block because again, this is pretty important when you put the actual names of stuff. So to enter the title block, you're gonna, anywhere on your page, right click. Once you right click, you go to edit sheet format and now you're editing the sheet format, right? And I can zoom in down here. You can double click this text. You can rewrite whatever you want. So I want you guys to put your initials and just put like the lab number. So it's like lab number 2, right? So you type that, you can hit escape and you can drag it anywhere you want. You can leave it in drawing number or put it in title. I don't really care for this one. I just want you guys to learn how to use it. So once you guys are done doing that and you want to go back to actual drawings, you can right click again and go edit sheet. And now you're back. So in case that you guys right click and you don't see like the sheet format stuff, what you can do alternatively is go to your feature tree, right click the sheet number 1, go to edit sheet format. And same thing to get back, you right hand click sheet and then go to edit sheet and then you're back. And this is pretty much everything you guys have to do. So remember what I need is your 3 ISO views. Your standard views, which consist of your top, front, and right. In number 2's case, you will have to make what is this called? Section view, right? From this portion, so you can clearly see this space. And then all your dimensions, make sure you put all the dimensions called out in your assignments and make sure that you're reporting in the correct units, right? And then also you need your ISO view in the top right corner. ISO view always goes in the top right corner. And for ISO view, for this one, make sure you put the display style as hidden lines, right? Your other faces don't need to do that, just your ISO view. Make that hidden lines available. And this is all you have to do for this lab drawings. Shouldn't be too hard, just pretty tedious, but yeah, should be everything.